Well, that was a really, really rough game for Brett Anderson. He only pitched an inning in the third, gave up 7 hits, 8 runs, walked 2, and struck out a batter. He was not good. He was missing with his fastball down the middle. He was missing it in really, really bad spots. And I mean, what is Brett Anderson known for? Throwing a lot of strikes. What did the Kansas City Royals do? They got out there and they were aggressive, and they were swinging on first pitches. They were really early in the count, taking hacks, and it clearly worked for them as they lit him up. Luis Santos came out. He in his inning in 2/3, he gave it 3 hits and a run as well. And Loop and Kohler were good, and then Carlos Ramirez gave up his first earned runs of the season, and he got lit up. In his inning of work, he gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, walked a batter, and struck out 1. He wasn't very good in that outing. Tim Mayza gave up 4 hits and 2 runs in his inning of work. The Bats only had 6 hits. Yeah, they scored 5 runs, but they gave up 15 runs. You could score 10. You're still losing by 5. It's just the pitching was awful in this ball game, and you look at this and you try and find positives to talk about during a game like this, and there really isn't much to say. You look at guys like Richard Urania and Teoscar Hernandez. Both guys came in as pinch hitters later in the ball game, and Urania went 1 for 1 in his at bat. Hernandez went 1 for 2 with a 2-run double in his at bat. Rafi Lopez came off the bench and he hit he hit a home run. I think it might have been a 2-run shot there by Rafi Lopez. No, it was a solo shot, his 4th home run of the season. But you look at this game and all those runs that I've talked about were pretty much meaningless. The Blue Jays were down a mile. They were down 9-0 after 2 innings. It's over by then. And then, why not add on to it? They had 4 more in the 6th inning to make it 13-0. And I mean, yeah, the Jays scored 4, but then he gave up 2 more. So it was just kind of a pointless waste of time. The Jays offense, like I said, wasn't really good in this ball game. You look at your big guys. Carrera, top of the lineup. He was 0 for 4. Donaldson, 0 for 3. Smoke, 0 for 2. Bautista, 0 for 2. Morales, 0 for 1, but he walked once. None of your top 4 hitters who started in the lineup, had a hit. That is a recipe for a mess. And even though the pitching was awful, that is not helping your team at all. So after the Jays played a very, very good game yesterday and won a 5-2 ball game and got very good pitching from Marcus Stroman, as we know, and Roberto Osuna locked it down, Brett Anderson couldn't give you really much of anything today. He really couldn't give you much. Now, that could be because there were talks about a blister in his last start against Minnesota. I don't know if there actually is one, and if there is, did it affect him today as well? I have no idea. But if it is, I am sick and tired of these darn blisters. But if we are going to find a positive out of today as a whole, the Blue Jays re-sign Marco Estrada to a 1-year, $13 million contract. So he's here for the rest of this year and all of next season. I am very, very happy with this move. I'll explain why. We know what Marco Estrada is capable of. He has not had a very good season. He had a very good first, 2 months, and then I don't know what happened to him. And then in September, in his last 10, 11 starts, he's been pretty darn solid. So he's kind of had one of those weird years. But if he can find it late in the season, like he is right now, end off the year on a very good note, go into next year with positives, then that's great. Another, you got to look at this Blue Jays team. If they go into next season healthy, you never know what you're going to see. You could see a healthy Devin Travis. You could see a healthy Aaron Sanchez. What else? Tulowitzki, I mean, he's going to be a 250 hitter, but he's going to give you that defense day in, day out. Then you have a healthy Donaldson, a healthy Russell Martin, depending on what you do in the outfield with Jose Bautista, then we don't know what's going to happen there. And in left field, is Hernandez going to start? Are you going to get somebody in the offseason? I have no idea. But if this team can actually be healthy for a full 162, who knows what can happen? Who knows? with Tulo and Devin Travis in the lineup, how much different is this team? Because Devin Travis is a spark plug. With runners in scoring position, he is fantastic. This team as a whole is garbage with runners in scoring position. So you look at things like that and you're like, well, yeah, an inconsistent Marco Estrada, an injured Aaron Sanchez, an injured J.A Happ. Yeah. So you look at that and you're like, okay, maybe there is optimism for next year. Well, the Jays still have to improve their roster if they want to compete. It doesn't look like they're going to rebuild. So if we're going to, Jays fans, let's try to get that whole rebuild thing out of our head, because it really doesn't look like it. We heard that Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro it'll be a long shot to try and trade Donaldson because it would be stupid to do so. They're going to try and re-sign him, and they've already re-signed Marco Estrada for next year. So, and they have J.A Happ for next season. So you look at this and you're like, well, maybe. It depends what offseason moves we see. If we see them get a pretty good starting pitcher, maybe an Alex Cobb. I mean, he could be a good back-of-the-end rotation type of guy. Maybe a couple bullpen arms. A lefty would be nice. And, a good right fielder who can run, who can play good defense. Maybe like a Ben Revere. I miss that guy. But anyways, that's enough of the offseason. We'll get there eventually. We're only 9 games away. We'll get there, Jays fans. I promise we will get there, and then we will have a heyday in the off-season preview video. We will get there. I promise you that. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and, you're pumped for this season to be over as much as I am, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. What do you think? What have you thought of Brett Anderson over his last couple games? I mean, he looked really good in his first 3 as a J, and then the last 2 have been just awful. So let me know what you guys think about that. What are your opinions on the whole injury situation with this team, and if they were healthy, what do you think? I just want to know what you guys have to say about that. All right, and we'll talk to you guys Friday. Leafs edition, as they're at home taking on the Buffalo Sabres. That is another preseason game. Game 3, the Leafs look to actually get a win in preseason. It would be nice to talk about a W in preseason, wouldn't it? And we'll also talk to you guys tomorrow, Jays edition, as they look to win the series against the Kansas City Royals. J.A Happ, Jason Vargas. That's a pitching matchup. 7:07 first pitch. Talk to you guys then.